Okay, well, welcome to Hamityville. Thank you for visiting. I'm Clint.
I'm Don.
We have another special guest today. We're going to be doing a little bit of talking with Jennifer Nangle today. So how are you doing?
Oh, I'm just living the dream. How are y'all doing?
Likewise. You know, if this were any more dreamlike, I'd ask somebody to pinch me and find out if I was still sleeping.
Goodness, you guys are so sweet. We should do this at least once a week. My ego would be in a better place.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
you heard
I
that,
know
folks.
Don be on board for
this. This is recording, so you heard that, right? She's going to be a regular guest.
Oh boy. Be careful what you wish for. Always be careful what you wish for.
I'd be ready.
So I was catching up on some things that you're doing and some things that you've done, and I think you're probably familiar with some people that we're getting friendly with too. I saw that you did a couple things with Tales from the Podcast. You did an interview with them. You guys talked about Pumpkinhead. We're getting to know JB pretty well.
Yeah, he is such a sweetie. He actually appeared in an episode of Malvolia.
Yeah, he did a short. I saw that one. Yeah. And strangely enough, he played like a radio show host in that, which
I mean,
he totally stepped out of character for that.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean,
totally.
Ironic.
It was definitely a stretch for him, for sure.
Yeah. Well, I did see that. That was cool. That was entertaining. I'm glad you guys got together on that. Maybe we can do something sometime.
Oh, we definitely can. Yeah. Again, be careful what you wish for, you guys.
Stop it, Clint.
Okay. I'll reel it back.
It's like, stop, but keep going.
Yeah, we're not famous yet. We're not quite there yet.
Exactly.
I'm not either. So hey, let's keep going.
No.
Well, and that's kind of a cool story that I've been clued into, and I was wondering if maybe you could recount that a little bit. You've kind of built your career yourself. You're kind of like a DIY indie film actor. You're a writer. Filmmaker. You're a producer. I mean, you have a web series.
I do.
Your famous character Malvolia.
Is she that famous?
She is now.
Really... Okay, here we go. My life is now changed.
I mean, how many seasons are you into that? Is it 3 now?
5.
5. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. I lost track.
Yeah, no worries. I know that's a lot. There's a lot of material on there. Yeah, we did a lot of stuff. So yeah.
I watched one of the Thanksgiving episodes. I think it was the second one. So that one was kind of cool. Car breaks down in front of somebody's house, or the story goes.
Air quotes.
Yeah, that Malvolia, she's a little tricky.
She is, and I don't know. I might be pulled in by those tricks too. I need to be careful.
Ooh la la.
Yeah.
And again, she says she's not famous, but something that I definitely want to bring to the attention, which I'm sure she's been, told this, or people have told her, but having, she's won, best web series from 2 esteemed, festivals, Hollywood Blood Horror Festival and the Independent Horror Movie Awards. So that's a big deal. I mean, that's best web series.
Thank you.
And not to mention, I mean, from 2014 to 2021, you have 35 wins and 19 nominations. Like, yeah, you're pretty freaking famous.
Mm-hmm.
Why are we not friends on everywhere? Like we need to talk. This is therapy. I said this was going to be therapy for me, and it totally is. So
yeah, but we're changing that. I followed you on everything now. So
okay, now forever.
You'll be a friend of the channel for sure.
Cool.
Yep. So you got into acting pretty early, right?
I did. Yeah, I started when I was 10 years old. I went and saw a stage musical of The Sound of Music where family friends were in it, and they were hitting every mark. They were doing all these dance moves. They were singing these songs. They were saying these lines. And I thought that was the coolest thing ever, that they were storytelling, physically through their body. And so I turned to my mom and I was like, that's what I want to do. And she was like, all right, we'll get you doing it. So anything that I could audition for, anything that I could be a part of, I totally did. So yeah, I've been in it for a little while. So yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And And do I understand it correctly that you were originally planning on going to New York to try to be in theater, like Broadway?
Totally. That was
Yeah.
always the dream. Yeah, when I graduated high school, I totally wanted to just go to New York and do the Broadway thing. I loved musical theater. I loved stage. You know, I used to go to New York a lot and see Broadway shows with a friend and her dad,
Mhm.
a couple times a year, and it just was so, I don't know, sparkly and just showy and amazing. And I was like, you could do that as like a life thing. Like that would be so dope. Like I would love to do it every night or 2 shows a day. I would totally be into it. And my parents who are educators were like, nope, you need to go to college. So I was like, well, if I have to go to
Downer.
college, I
Yeah.
know, right? Like Lordy knows where I could be right now.
Mhm.
But I said, if I have to go to college, I want to go for theater. And that was kind of, the compromise. So
Mhm.
yeah.
Mhm.
You majored in theater, right?
I did, yes, and I have my BFA in theater.
Ooh,
So
well,
I
that makes
know,
sense, does it not?
fancy,
Yeah.
right?
It is.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
Fancy.
So 9/11 put a hamper on that, right?
Oh my gosh, you have done your homework. Yes,
A
it did.
little, a little.
We always do. We always do.
I'm
We try.
impressed. I'm impressed. This is good. This is good. Yeah, it did. Yeah. 9/11 happened my second semester, senior year of college. And I was like, ooh, that's that's not gonna happen. So I hung around Buffalo, New York, because I went to school in Niagara University in Lewiston, New York. And I hung around Buffalo for a couple of years, and I did Shakespeare in the Park, and I did some other theater groups and stuff. And I was like, this isn't working. I really want to just do this for life. So
Yeah, yeah,
that's when I made the choice of going to LA. Yeah, because New York
yeah.
was still kind of iffy. I had college friends that went to New York, and it was kind of still a struggle. So I was like, oh, LA will totally like be different. But
That
here we
seems like
are.
Right.
a real leap of faith there. I mean, just taking off and going across country like that. I mean, would you? It seems kind of like a pretty fearless move. Would you call yourself a fearless person? I mean,
I appreciate that, and I've been told that, but I didn't feel like it was. I was like, this is what I'm destined to do, or if this is what
oh,
I want, I have to do it.
right, right,
So yeah,
yeah,
you just go
okay,
for it.
No,
yeah,
I mean, there's really, I mean, what else are you supposed to do? You just follow what you want to do. I mean, that's again, follow the dream. I mean, I wish
Yeah.
if I would be like, I want to be an actor, my mom would be like, yeah, let's do whatever it takes. No, my mom would have been like, what the hell are you talking about?
Get a real job.
yeah.
Yeah, like, man.
Interesting side question. There's tends to be two camps with actors. There's people who love auditions and there's people who hate auditions, for varying reasons. And I was wondering, what camp do you reside in and why?
I hate auditioning. I am the worst at auditioning. It's a different process than, developing a character and reading a script and having all the pieces together that you can perform and do everything like that. Also it can be a little like intense, like I went to a commercial audition, oh my God, a long time ago. It was years ago. And I walked into the waiting room to sign in, and I looked around the room, and this was like when the plaid shirts were like in and, looking like the next door, best friend, young mom type thing. And so, of course, that's how I was dressed too. And I'm looking around the room and I'm like, we all look the same. There are about 60 of us that all look alike. How do they figure out who they want? Like
Uh-huh.
it's just mind-boggling to me. So yeah, the process is draining and yeah, kind of tough. Yeah. Like in the past couple of years, I've never booked anything I've auditioned for either. So that's why I do my own stuff. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it sounds horrible. It sounds
Yeah.
nerve-wracking. I would absolutely hate that. I mean,
There are
if you
some
have
people, yeah, there are some people that love it and thrive off of it. And I'm so jealous. Like I don't at
Mhm.
all.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we've talked to one or two where it's like, yeah, they appreciate the audition process, but they're kind of old school in the sense that they like to go in and have a conversation with the people. What are you looking for?
Yeah.
And then try to deliver that when they do their audition. But I don't think that would help with me. I would be
Yeah.
completely
In your
nerve
head
wracked and
too
upset.
much.
And oh yeah,
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I'd much rather just come up with something to do with friends and just make it happen.
Yeah.
So you're a big proponent for a do-it-yourself type of approach, like
1000%.
yeah, it's um what the hell? Mo was talking about it. And of course he's not here, but that was kind of like the like Lloyd Kaufman's approach to filmmaking.
Yeah.
He's like, don't look to me. He's like, get a camera, go out and make your own damn movie. So I think it's really cool that you're doing that.
Thank you.
You had a project that you were trying to fund recently. Was it Body Count?
Body Count.
Okay.
Yeah.
How's that going? Is that coming about?
Well, that ended. And that was a rough process, not gonna lie. Yeah, it ended March 31st and I did 45 days, and I hadn't done like an Indiegogo in a long time. I usually like do GoFundMe because it's easier. You don't have to do like serious perks. You can be like producer credit or whatever. And
She's willy-nilly about it, like, I want my name on there.
Well, I'll be doing a second campaign soon, so you just might get what you want.
Hey, we'll support you.
Thank you.
We'll support it. We'll share it on our page and see if we can't get you a little bit more help.
Awesome.
Whatever the little that can do.
Yeah, no, that's super huge, because I noticed with the campaign too, like I did have some people that were helping me, but we all have the same kind of like crowd following us. So the same eyes were seeing the same things over and over and over again. And I feel like I got a little shadow banned too. I feel like Body Count was a little too serious for Facebook. I don't know. So so next time around I'm just gonna do GoFundMe because it's easier.
Sure.
Yeah.
So what are some of your favorite things to do, like as far as acting?
Whew. I'm kind of a boring person.
It's okay. So am I.
With y'all, speak for yourself.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Don's super interesting. Unlike me. That's why we work so well together. We're opposite.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Yes.
When I'm not thinking about writing, or when I'm not writing, or I'm not strategizing for a script, or I'm not preparing for, a role or anything like that. I love true crime, especially docuseries. Like that's my jam. 48 hours, Dateline, 2020. I'm all
talking our language.
Crime.
Yep. The ID channels on my TV at least like 14 hours a day.
1000%. Yep, I'm with you. And I really like to read, but I never really have time for it anymore.
Tell me about it.
I mean, time is of the essence, and now that the world is opened back up officially, it's like, what are we doing?
Like, what's a book?
Yeah, I haven't ever seen one of those in a while. And I took up running during quarantine. I was doing it like a little bit beforehand, but been running a lot, and just hang out with friends, watch movies. Yeah, just kind of boring.
Sounds like a good time.
Okay. Yeah.
Again,
like I said, you're talking my language.
Yeah, right. What are we doing?
The true crime one, y'all.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt.
True crime, reading books that you don't have time for.
Yep, totally. That's my jam.
Since you think of yourself kind of as a reader, just a off-topic discussion, is there anything that you've read that you would like to see adapted to film, or maybe you'd like to do it yourself?
Ooh, that's a really good question. As I'm thinking in my head, everything that I've pretty much read has been adapted into something. Yeah, I might have to take a rain check on that question and get back to you.
That's okay.
I read a lot of self-help books too. So
hey, sometimes those need to be made into a movie.
They should be made into a movie. You're right. Yeah.
Give it an underlying horror theme.
Exactly.
And how the self-help saved the character.
Saved the life. Yes.
We got to trademark that.
Totally. You guys got it. Yep. Totally.
Right. So one thing that I love about your character Malvolia is that she's not just like held up on, the web series. Like she's been in movies, just, like Demonoids and stuff like that, going across, one of the pre-production projects you're in, Halloween Slasher. She's in that. She just shows up.
Yeah.
And I love it. Like she's not just confined to, just a web series. And I love the fact that it just branches off. I know one of your more popular ones was, what was it, 1031? Like you're working on part 3 of that now, right?
Yeah, I've completed my whole section of it. So yeah, it's in Rocky's hands and we're just waiting for, release. Yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I just love how it just branches off. Like you don't see that too often. I think maybe it's really funny. Clint's talking about Lloyd Kaufman. Troma usually will do it every once in a while. They'll branch off their characters into other movies, but it's cool to see somebody that is on a web series wind up in indie films. That's pretty kick ass. Like that's enjoyable. I like that universe.
Thank you. And I appreciate that. I feel like what makes me different is that I'm an actor that kind of fell into horror hosting, whereas a lot of horror hosts, that's their thing, but I wanted to make my character different because I'm an actor and I want to act, so that's why I came up with the 2 episodes a week for the web series where I could act in one and then host a short. And so I think a lot of people have noticed that. They've noticed the character and the characteristics and how I've made her this being, this ghoul being. And yeah, people kind of dig that she's got this evil personality and we can just run away with it, so it kind of melds into everything. Yeah.
That's awesome. And I noticed your little pop behind you is that Elvira, I'm pretty sure.
It is.
Yeah. So I was going to say, inspired by her, I would imagine.
Nope.
But the best thing about it is that you're so original with it. Like there's nothing really even the same. And I love that. Like some people can't do that. Like they just have to be either a carbon copy or it's like, man, tone down on bring it back or be original.
Yeah.
And that's
totally.
exactly what you are. You're, like I said, your web series is amazing. It's just, it's great.
Well, originally Malvolio was supposed to be a character for a future found footage film that I wanted to do. So I definitely did want to make her different. And I didn't want her to be like Elvira at all. I mean, Elvira is Elvira. She does her thing. I wanted to be darker. I wanted to be meaner. I wanted to do a lot of things that I never get the opportunity to do. A lot of people look at me as like the best friend or the girl next door. And I was like, I want to play somebody evil. I want to play the evil queen,
Rip your fucking throat out.
Yeah, exactly. I want to kill you, And it's like, you're too nice. You can never do it. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, then I guess I have to show you. So, I mean, that's kind of a lot of reasons why Malvolia started too, was to show everybody that I could be this mean person. And now all I seem to get is being a mean person. And I'm like, I can be a nice girl.
I can be a nice person
too. well, you even chose a name that fit the character. Because if I understand correctly, is that not an Italian word that means ill will?
Dang, Clint, you have done your homework. Yes, it does.
I just looked a little bit,
Just a little bit, huh?
A little.
Well, I mean, makes me feel special. Not gonna lie. Yeah, it does mean, oh well. I wanted to have like kind of like this weird, kind of different name. So I went on the internet and searched vampire names, and that popped up. And I just really liked the ring of it, and I knew I wanted to do the Queen of Screams as a playoff of Scream Queen. So yeah, it just kind of all fit together. Yeah.
It does kind of roll off the tongue a little bit. So I mean, yeah, it's a good name.
A lot of people can't say it. They're like Malavia.
Wow.
I'm like, y'all, it's Malvolia.
Yeah. Just add another syllable. Make this harder. Jesus, people, come on now.
Well, I think that was one of the gags in that short that we were talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's funny. Like I was on a pod, and not to, if the person's listening, not to like be mean or anything, but like I had to correct him every time because he'd be like Malavia, and I'm like, no, Malvolia. Like you could never say it. I'm like, kept correcting him.
I need subtitles on.
Exactly. I was like, I didn't know this was gonna be this hard, But hey, is what it is, I guess.
Hey, a little bit more research goes a long way.
That's right.
Yep.
It really does.
Or appreciate it.
Type it in Google and hit how to pronounce and hit play.
There you go. I like that. Yes. Self-sufficient.
You can Google anything. So something, and it's funny that Clint asked that question about the whole adapting a novel, because you kind of have that a little bit, because if I'm not mistaken, a character, Jennifer Knight, is in a book that was inspired by you,
yes.
The Legend of Phantom Manor. So I find that's kind of awesome that even in books, even in media like that, you still have a footprint.
There was another indie horror writer who did use Malvolia, the Queen of Screams, in his book too. It was about a witch or something, and he brought that character in too, which was kind of cool too. So yeah, I love it.
Yes,
That's
Yeah.
super cool.
you can go anywhere.
See, you got fans.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And I don't know if any other person that has ever been in any kind of play, any kind of movie where their character only had 4 lines and managed to win Best Actress. That's pretty impressive too.
You guys went on my IMDb. I see. Hey.
We tried.
Yeah, that was a total shocker, and I totally didn't expect it, and I relished in that. Let me tell you, like, that was the coolest thing ever. So there are no small parts ever. You can win over the audience of anybody, at any time. So yeah,
Absolutely.
That's
Yeah.
great.
There.
That's being positive.
Hey. That's all
Yeah,
you can be nowadays.
Right.
That's right. That's right. And I always appreciate it when I see somebody who maintains a good positive attitude and goes after what they want, and that is 100% the impression that I get from you.
Thank
that
you.
that you're just on it. You know what you want, and you're like, okay, if they're not going to give it to me, I'm going to go get it myself. And then that is just a super cool way to be.
I mean,
And
you have to be proactive.
Mhm.
A lot of times people don't really believe or see you in things until you show them, especially in this industry, because there's so many people trying to do this thing that I'm just like, well, I can do this, so that's why I would be an asset.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna lie, there are a lot of hard days too. Like I have a writing mentor who always reminds me. In fact, he reminded me last night, everything is always peaks and valleys, so sometimes you get the valleys, sometimes you get the peaks, but you just have to keep moving forward and
Right.
going on your journey. Which it
Absolutely.
is. Yeah.
I mean,
Yes.
why give up? I mean, you've already made it
I've
this
come
far.
this
I mean,
far.
yeah.
I know.
Oh
I
my
know.
God. Yeah. This is building. You are definitely on the path to, I think, where you want to be, wherever that might be.
Are you
So,
psychic? Do you see that?
oh, man. Hey,
He's done it a couple times.
What are the winning lottery numbers? Do you know?
I
All of a sudden, Clint drops from the call.
Yeah. Let me consult my crystal ball, and I'll tell you in a few minutes.
All right.
Off mic, of course.
Yes.
We wouldn't want everybody to get in on that.
No.
So,
just me, and I'll share.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit excited about something that's probably going to be coming out soon, that we have been seeing posters for. It's kind of near and dear to us because of our namesake for this
I know
this
this is going.
podcast.
Already pre-ordered it. It.
Amityville Karen. I mean,
Yep.
what are you allowed to say about that? I mean,
you know what? I don't know. I've never been told like what I can or what I cannot say about it.
Okay.
I feel like it kind of speaks for itself.
mhm.
I was brought onto this project very last minute. I feel, and I don't know this for sure. I'm just going off of like, what I experienced and what I felt. I feel like I replaced an actor because I was brought on two weeks prior. So somebody must have had to drop or something. And I got the script like a week ahead. And it's definitely a wild ride. I got to work with, oh my God, his name's blanking me. James, what's his last name?
We can Google it.
We can
Thank
Google
God, he's in the Donnie Darko. James.
What?
it. Oh,
Yeah.
hold on. This is why I was having my
Oh
stuff.
my
right here.
goodness.
James
Yeah,
Duvall.
there
James
you go.
Duvall. Yeah, I got to work with James Duvall, which, like in the indie circuit, I've heard about him for so long. So that was kind of a trip to like work with him. And he was pretty dope. Like I'd be like, hey, he'd be like, you want to rehearse lines? And I'm like, yeah, let's rehearse lines. Like, this is cool. But yeah, it takes place in a winery. And
Okay.
I don't know how much else I'm allowed to say.
I'm on board. That makes sense.
I was on board.
Karens are all about
as soon as I heard
wineries.
Amityville, I was like, yes.
Yeah, it's definitely a wild ride. Like Julianne Prescott did a crazy awesome job with this, and it's just Karen. It's nuts, Karen is definitely Karen. So
You work
yeah.
with her quite often, don't you? I mean,
yes,
I can
no.
think of at least 2 other titles that you've been in part of the production, and that's just because of the very narrow sampling I've had of your work. 5G Zombies, she was in that. You had a part in that. Wait a minute.
We did The Last Roommate together.
Zombie 8.
Zombie 8. Yep.
Zombie 8.
Yep.
She was in that. You were in that. I mean,
a lot of times we're in the same thing, but I don't see her.
Right.
That makes sense. Yeah. But Julianne is such a sweetie. She's such a positive person, especially about women in the industry. And,
we love her. She's one of our favorite people.
Oh yeah, I don't blame you, because honestly,
she also seems to be a person of talent like yourself. I mean,
a go-getter, doesn't take no for an answer. Yeah, so it's nice to see like women in the industry like that support one another and just be kind to one another. She's always
that's more important than getting a part or anything. Just supporting each other. I mean, especially without going into too much detail. Me and Clint have been, we've been doing this for about Clint, 2-3 months.
Something like that.
And we've
something like that.
He don't care.
Yeah, whatever.
It's been forever.
He don't keep track of it. This feels like we've done it forever. But no, just like we've been, Jamie Apple, one of our newer co-hosts that we have, she's a special effects artist, and she's kind of kept us on track with what's going on and listening to some of the things that go on in these indie movies and trying to get them funded and getting people on there. I never knew it was so cutthroat. I never knew it was so,
it's
just
a tough gig.
Yeah,
just nobody.
I wish it was that sweet. Yeah.
Well, and I'm sure there's people that watch each other's backs. I'm sure that there's some clicks that are there, but it kind of floored me knowing that, everybody's trying to do the same thing. You guys are trying to get parts for movies, and you're trying to get things funded. So it's like, why can't we just work together? And it's just kind of floored me, like I said.
Oh my God, I have a funny story. I won't name the project, but I auditioned for this one feature film, and my one of my best friends, Tracy Burr, was up for the same role. We auditioned for the same role, and I found out that she ended up booking it, and I was sincerely, truly happy for her. Like, I was slightly bummed, like I would have liked it, but I mean, I'm glad it went to somebody that I care about. And I hands down am just very happy for her that they're moving on with the project, that, I'm just happy. So I went to the director and I was like, hey, I just wanted to, I heard you cast the role. I just wanted to thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to audition. And I think he took it as like me being like, and I wasn't. I was genuinely being like, and so I explained, I was like, no, I'm being genuinely like happy for, like, I'm genuinely thankful and I'm happy for you guys. And he was like, wow, well, thank you very much. Like, I think it was just a different thing that he's ever experienced. And I was like, oh man, maybe I should stop thanking people for not casting me now. I don't know. It's like,
you start to wonder, like, who did I offend? Like, come on now.
The industry, everybody's always on edge. So yeah.
He wasn't the one who recommended you for Amityville Karen, was he?
No. No.
Okay. Well, I'm mentioning the other Amityville one. Amityville in the Hood is another one.
I've never seen it, but I had a fun time playing that character.
We're trying to watch. Eventually, I think we're going to watch all the Amityvilles, and even as bad as they may be, I don't even care. Like, soon as Julie told me about Amityville Karen, like, I was like, bam, bought the Blu-ray, pre-ordered the Blu-ray.
Doesn't matter. That Amityville in space, we're all about it.
I don't care.
I also just finished up Amityville Apartments too. So
all right.
That stemmed from Melville, one of Marvin, the filmmaker. He sent me his horror short, which was Amityville Apartments. And then it stemmed into turning into this huge horror anthology. And I was lucky enough that one of the girls that they wanted to cast couldn't do the part. So they asked me. And I was like, yay! So I put on a blonde wig and I had a lot of fun because I also host it too. I don't know if they're going to keep it in the feature film or if they're just going to use it for when they air it on this public access show. I'm not sure. But yeah, so I got to play 2 characters. So yeah, fun.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That is beautiful.
Amityville Apartments. You can add that to your list. It's just never ending.
It is. You just search it and you get like
boom
14 titles just come right up.
That shit's not on IMDb because I'm looking at it. So we just gotta hint at that. IMDb ain't got everything.
Write it down.
It's
Go old
up,
school,
but I
Don.
don't think like it's all up to date with like all the actors and stuff, but it is there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on,
Are you responsible for maintaining that yourself?
Mine.
The IMDb page?
Yeah, I am, and I've been slacking on it. Oh, it's kind of tough, but all the other projects, like, yeah, I just let them do it.
Right.
Yeah, why not?
Less work for me. Yeah.
That's right. So, just go back to 5G zombies for a bit. I mean, I that one seemed really interesting. I like that idea quite a bit, and I was just curious if the way it seemed looking at it was actually the way it was. It looked to me like everyone was kind of responsible for filming their own part and sending it in order to be a part of this conglomeration idea. And I mean, I could nitpick a couple of things about just the overall production and maybe edit or the lack of a soundtrack, but I'd have to say that the acting in the thing was solid. And I was really impressed by some of the performances that were in there. And I was like, man, they totally could have helped this feature out just a little bit better, by giving it just a couple of things like a sound effect here or a little bit of like music in the background or something like that. And I'm not 100% sure where I was going with that. Other than
I mean, I like it. We can, I mean, I can add to it if you want me to. I mean, you're totally right.
were these parts written for you, or were people asked to like improvise a whole bunch, or?
Yeah, I was given kind of like a breakdown of what he was looking for, and I just went with it. I just thought, like, how can I? Because the best part about being asked to do your own, like shoot your own segment or write your own segment or anything is you can be as creative as you want to be. And you can, do whatever you like, maybe not can do in your regular series or your regular career or whatever. You can kind of, do other things. So, for the 5G zombies, we were all responsible for filming because it was during quarantine. So we were all responsible to shoot our own stuff. And I was given a little synopsis of what he wanted me to do. And I just kind of went with what he wanted me to do. And I know he said he wanted me to be like sad and cry and wanted me to walk off. And just kind of used what I had and tried to make a bite on my arm. That was kind of an interesting process. And it was really fun. And I appreciate Dustin Ferguson for that. Is like a lot of times he doesn't restrict us to these certain things. He kind of lets us play. And I can't ever stress that enough to other directors, because a lot of times I'm the same way. I'll let people be creative, or how do you think your character would dress, or like what do you want to do with this kind of thing, because the most amazing things can happen by accident and when you're not controlling things.
Absolutely.
That's very true.
Absolutely.
That's very true.
Well, now I'm even more impressed than I was before. If there was a lot of improvisation and he was allowing people to basically write their own parts with a general outline of what he was looking for, I mean, that was super cool. And I think everybody did a bang up job on that. And
nice. I'll relay that message. That would really make his day.
I loved it.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Now here's something that I'm curious about. It's gonna sound kind of like a weird question because I kind of know the answer already.
No question is ever weird though.
True.
Unless you slide into my DMs on Instagram, then that can be a little weird. But anyway,
so weird anyway. I was like, hey, we're gonna do this podcast. Do you want to? Now we got 910 members, just me doing that. I'm like, look at that weirdo. So obviously, you've done a lot of the indie stuff. You've done a lot of the web series, and like you just talked about, you have a lot of creative, freedom when it comes to doing this, and whether you're a director, writer, producer, or you're dealing with somebody else that's an indie director. Mm-hmm. Do you think that going from that to, say, if you got offered a part in a major film, major studio, Universal, MGM, anything like that, do you think that it would be night and day compared to what you do now? Would it be that big of a difference? Because I'm sure you would get constrained somehow, some way, if you got like a big Hollywood director involved with something. So do you think that's true, or do you think you'd be able to get away with the things that you do now?
I think it would depend on the director. I think it would depend on the studio. I think it would depend on the script. I think it would just depend on the situation. There are a lot of big directors that are open to hearing feedback from their actors, but as we know in the news, there are a lot of directors that aren't open to hearing. They just want you to do what they say to do. So I think it would just kind of depend on that person. I'm fine either way. I'm totally fine either way. I understand why certain directors want things the way that they want them and said the way that they want them to say, and they want you to say every single word. I get that. But then there are other directors that, again, see it like me, and they see, oh, there's a lot of magic that can happen by accident. So, but yeah, I would do either or, and I'm totally happy doing either or. Yeah.
The best part is I was going to ask, is there a director that you would want to work with, but I don't have to ask that because I know the two.
Robert Rodriguez.
Well, and Quentin Tarantino. They kind of go hand in hand almost.
Totally.
J.J. Abrams.
Fuck yeah. Oh, can I swear? Oh, I swear.
Fuck yeah.
Okay.
You would swear. So yeah, I mean,
I've just been holding back because we're trying to be respectful.
Oh my goodness, no.
Yeah, we usually try that. Usually if the guests cuss first, then we unleash.
Okay.
Then we're unchained.
We're like, fuck it.
Yeah. So is there like a dream? Is there a dream role you would want to do with those guys? It would still be horror, or would it be something else?
Ooh, good question. I've always wanted to play like a femme fatale type character. Down to do action. I mean, that would be super dope. But I always love playing the villain. The villain's always like the best part. You get killed.
They do have the most fun, don't they?
They do.
Yeah,
they do.
So. Yeah, there's a lot, no restrictions, no morals.
Yeah, you just go. So I'm always about that. But honestly, if I were to work with any of them, I wouldn't be complaining about anything. So
that's true
too.
And the best part about all this is that you're actually a horror fan. Like you are knee deep in horror, which is awesome. Because I've seen a couple of people that do this and they don't like horror. And I'm like, how's that possible?
That kind of boggles my mind, because if it's a passion thing, you should be doing something that you're passionate about, But
I agree. What's your favorite horror movie? What's your favorite scary movie?
Scream. No, just kidding. My favorite. Well, I have a couple. Can I give you a couple?
You can give us top five.
Okay, top five. Oh, I don't know if I can do top five. All right.
Top 10.
Top one of the tops.
If you keep saying that, I'll keep your ass on another hour and we'll go top 50. And then you know what? We can stretch that out.
Here we go. Okay. So Psycho, hands down, Psycho.
Oh, good. The original.
I mean, oh my God. Totally the original.
Alfred
black
Hitchcock.
and white.
Yes.
Yeah, well, she loves Alfred Hitchcock anyway. So you're a fan of him.
Hitchcock.
Actually, I like the first four. So
yeah.
Ooh. Okay, cool. And then a little movie called The Ruins. I always say that during interviews. I love The Ruins.
Ooh.
Are we familiar?
No, I think I missed that one somewhere along the way.
Okay, so I'm super into vacation horror, So if you're like being slaughtered in a hotel, motel, Holiday Inn, or you're in this beautiful destination location and you're being killed, I'm in it. I'm just in it. So this is where a group of friends go to, I believe it's Mexico. I think it takes place in Mexico. And they go and they go to see this ruin, and then all hell breaks loose. And I could honestly watch this movie. Oh, and I do. I watch it over and over and over and over and over again. And I think what makes it the best thing is that the guy that wrote the book wrote the screenplay.
Oh, that's cool. That's awesome.
Yeah. So he definitely,
knew what he wanted.
Exactly. And he hit the points that needed to be said. And it's perfect storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect storytelling.
That's awesome.
I'm a huge fan of the Blair Witch Project, for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
That movie did fuck me up when I was a kid.
Did it really?
I kept thinking I heard shit outside my window. I was like, There,
Yeah.
it's like 2 a.m. and there's kids playing outside. I'm like, fuck that movie.
Yeah, well,
Great movie though. I
The
love
thing-
that movie.
the thing that I think bothered me the most about it wasn't even the movie. It was the promotion of it. It's like
Oh,
you
hands
spent all
down.
your time thinking this was real,
Yep.
you know,
Yep.
and just to find out later on that it's not, that these actors were getting interviewed on TV after that. I'm like, wait a minute. I
still
thought they were
alive.
Yeah,
dead.
right. Well, it's funny that
They're missing.
that we bring that up because we're talking about Cannibal Holocaust the other day too, about that, how you know the director got brought into court because everybody thought everybody was dead. It was like, you killed people. It's like, no, man, I didn't. Here's the proof. They're right here.
Oh my
So-
god! But some of those animal stuff, I don't know.
That's exactly what we were talking about. Yeah,
That's
it's
exactly it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Blair Witch
No,
Project.
I'm also trying to think. Like those are my top three.
Top
my top
three,
go-tos.
yeah.
That's pretty good, especially for a movie we've never heard of being number 2.
The Ruin.
Yeah.
I'll
I'm
check
gonna have to
that
look
out.
for that because
I am.
the ruins, that sounds kind of like some other things that I'm really into it, and I've that I really like. I don't know if you pay much attention to like Australian films, but I came across one that was kind of like that, called Primal, I believe it was.
I feel like I've seen it. I've
Okay.
seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where they go deep in the outback looking for cave paintings. Sound familiar?
Ish. Was it on
Okay.
Shudder?
I don't
No.
remember if it was
Probably
on Shudder.
was.
I don't
I
know
think
if
it
that's
might have been. It's
I
on
might have
Shudder.
seen it on Tubi, but it might be on
Oh,
Shudder.
okay,
I think it's
okay,
on
okay.
Shudder.
Yeah.
Okay. I feel like
And,
I dabbled. Maybe I didn't finish
Yeah.
it, but yes. Yeah. Like I'm
Yeah.
all into that kind of stuff for
Yeah,
sure.
there's 2 movies that I'm really big into with that. I don't know if you consider Revenge one of those, but you know, basically,
Love Revenge.
yeah, I don't know if that's considered that, but one that is
I think so. Yeah.
As Above, So Below. That's one that kind of tripped me out, especially at the end of it. I
Love
was
it.
like, yeah, that's that's just weird.
I
Great
love
movie
that
though.
movie.
Yeah, that
Very
movie's
good
great.
movie.
Yes,
Mhm,
definitely.
Yeah.
Anyway, so continue, my dear. Didn't mean to get it. So we got Blair Witch, and we can keep going if you don't have any yet.
I mean, I'm a big fan of like the whole like J horror. So like you know, The Ring, The Grudge. Like I could watch those over and over and over again. Audition.
Mm.
I think I first watched Audition during quarantine and I was like, damn.
That movie
this
is fucking crazy.
hardcore.
Yeah.
If you don't like, and people have turned that movie off like 40
I
minutes into it.
believe it.
It's like,
Yeah.
this is nothing. And then,
I-
man, bring
You
out
get
the
to that
piano wire.
end. Oh my God. Yeah.
I was never afraid of wire saws until I saw that
Nope.
movie.
Nobody was.
That
Nobody
was-
was.
I was like, good God.
That's
Really?
a tough one to watch. There's I think there's another one called The Invitation or something that's out there. I think that's another one. But yeah, I don't know what it is about J horror. That's, man, they get down to nitty gritty.
I'm trying to remember the title of this one that I've now watched a couple times. I cannot for the life of me. I think it is like in Japanese or Korean or something. And it's about these like YouTubers or whatever. I mean, it's all about YouTubers now.
Yeah, right.
Sure.
But they get, oh, it's like Haunted Asylum, something Haunted Asylum. Or something.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I got hold on. I know what
It
you're
was
talking
on
about.
Amazon Prime.
Yep. I know what you're talking about. It's got a weird name to it.
Yeah.
I got you. Hold
Like
on, I got you.
something haunted.
I got you.
That was the first found footage movie in like the longest time that I could not. I was glued. glued.
Gonjiam.
Yes, that one. Glued.
That movie's amazing.
I made my best friend watch it because we're kind of like developing like a horror feature for us to act in. And I was like, you have to, and we want to do a found footage. And I'm like, you have to watch this. Like, this is the best example of updated found footage movies.
It's terrifying. It's terrifying too.
It's really scary. Yeah.
Man, getting into the found footage stuff, too, that I really enjoyed was Grave Encounters.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And what was the other one? Oh, the remake to Blair Witch. I don't know if you've seen the 2016 version.
I have.
It's not, of course, anywhere near the original, but I thought it was still pretty decent.
It was
but
still pretty, yeah. Still pretty good. Yeah.
Man, the Haunted Asylum, that's a great movie. That is a great movie.
Agreed. Yeah.
found footage is a really easy way to make a low budget film. And
Mhm.
It is, but I've seen so many people screw it up. Like, I
yeah,
don't
but
know how
1000%.
you can do it.
when you
Yeah.
get a good one, you get a good one. I
You
mean,
do.
our first episode was Frankenstein's Army, and that is one incredible movie that was done on a pretty low budget
Yeah, shoestring
in that
budget.
style. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen that.
Oh, it's amazing.
Frank-
Yeah, it's
Oh,
our
if you get a chance,
yeah, it's
Okay.
on and
check that out.
the best part about like what we do and why we love doing it is because like the movies we recommend when we review them is they're usually on Tubi. So you don't have to have
Yeah.
any kind of subscription. You can just bang, download that and then just start watching it. So
That's
yeah,
awesome.
that's what's great about it. So
Very cool.
yeah, found footage. If you can do it right, I like it.
Yeah. Yeah. Agreed. Yeah. Trying to think what else.
I know, sorry, I put you on the spot.
No, it's cool. Like the original Poltergeist.
Oh my, I just watched
Yeah.
the thing on show, the cursed film about that. Holy shit. Man, that movie is cursed. That's man.
It was like the burial ground and everything. Like it was a real burial. Didn't they use like real people or something?
They said that they did, and the
heard
one
that.
the
I
one
don't
guy
know if
got
it's true.
so fucking mad, like the special effects
Uh-huh.
guy behind it, he got so mad because he was like, what difference does it make? They use real skeletons back in House on Haunted Hill. I'm like, damn, dude, that's 1950 fucking 7. That's a big difference, man.
Yeah, it's like pretty much illegal now.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's like, and he's like, what does it matter? I'm like, dude, that's a pretty big fucking deal. If I'm in a swimming pool with real skeletons compared to like painted on and you know, plastic and stuff, but
it also matters how you got them.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
He's like,
It's like, are these on loan from
they got
a
them from India.
university?
Everybody kept saying they got them from India. I'm like, Jesus. And then when one person said that they tried to I guess like the one unfortunate event that happened to the one actress, they said like that somebody paid her boyfriend to strangle her and then use her skeleton in the movie. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
Urban legend. That's got to be an
Yeah, that
urban
can't be
legend.
That's just wrong, man.
Sure.
Like
Can't be
that's
right.
just terrible to even bring up. Like, Jesus, guys, no, that's man, way to like using an awful event to your advantage or trying to. That's insanity. But yeah, Poltergeist, man, that's a good one without a
One of
doubt.
the movies, yeah, scared the daylights out of me. Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
one of the things I like to do is ask a really general question. And since you have so many credits to choose from,
Oh boy.
this might be a tough question.
Okay.
But what is the favorite thing that you've done so far?
Besides Malvolia, obviously.
I mean, you could pick that if you wanted to.
We love it. So if you did pick it, we don't blame you. But you know, it's
I mean, it's kind of a toss-up because I mean, Malvolia is always like she's a part of me. So that's my baby, you know? Like I don't have any real
Right.
children or pets. That's my baby. But I would have to say if it wasn't Malvolia, I think again, I don't know. I'm kind of up in the air. It would be my short film That Night that I wrote and acted in, or it would also be when I played Lilith in Lilith because I got to work with Vernon Wells. So those are,
Wow.
yeah. I mean, those would probably be the two besides Malvolia.
See, that's cool. See,
Yeah.
she won,
there's
and she
always
won
an experience
awards.
that stands out.
She won awards from
Yeah.
That Night and self-sabotage.
I did self-sabotage. I did. Yeah.
I was like, man,
You've done so
did?
much you can't even.
it's like if I fuck that up, I'm like, man, oh god, yeah, that was
No, you're
yeah.
right, you're
It's
right.
funny. She said That Night, and I was like, that was one of them, and then the other one was self-sabotage.
Yeah.
So that's cool, especially
That
the fact
Night.
that you can pick a short film as one of your favorites is really cool instead of like a full length. So that must
Well,
mean a lot to you.
I think That Night was really special to me because I had been doing Malvolia for a couple years, and that goes back to the whole like people just saw me as mean, or they just saw me as Malvolia. They couldn't see me as anything else. And so, you know, I was given this great opportunity to write this short film, and I based it off of a true crime story that's always boggled my mind. And I you know, was able to play the victim, and I just went for it. I didn't hold back anything. In fact, at one point the director was like, you need to stop screaming, because we were in a residential place and they were
Real back,
like
real back.
Yeah, like too much. And I was like, but I'm trying to be realistic here. I mean, they're threatening to kill me. Like, obviously I'd be screaming. And he's like, okay, can we do it a little quieter? But yeah, I just went with it. And I was so exhausted by the end of that shoot, because we shot that over 4 days. I was so exhausted that I was like, by the end of the kill scene, I was like, fuck this. Let's just go for it.
Yep.
Let it all go, and then I can go to sleep.
Right.
Yep.
So. I think a lot of people, I mean, obviously, you know, a lot of the people that we have as our group, they understand it. But, you know, for some of the listeners out there, you know, the fact that you guys don't have the luxury of having, you know, a year's time to shoot or however long. I mean, it's wham, wham, wham. I mean, you don't have, and you don't have the backing of any major studio. I mean, so you're doing everything on your own.
Yeah.
So, you know, to be able to get something done like that in 5 days, 6 days, it's pretty fucking impressive.
Well, that's a luxury, because a lot of times Malvolia is done within 2, maybe even 1. And we're pushing like, you know, 14, 16-hour days to get that stuff done. But yeah, because everything costs so much dang money. Everything costs so much dang money.
Sure does.
And just locations, and I call a lot of favors, and I owe a lot of people a lot of stuff, you know, when it comes time. And I will never forget that. But like, you know, even with the favors and stuff, just costs some money. So yeah, it's tough.
But I'm definitely impressed with how everybody does their thing. You know, you being included in that, it's man, it's just impressive. Like, and you know, I love doing our group now. You know, we've really hit our stride with the indie community. We have, you know, a lot of people on there that, you know, they don't get to push out any kind of advertising. They blow up our wall, they blow up our page. That's fine. You know, and I want more people to do that. So it's
and they even suckered me into contributing to a couple.
Oh, they suckered you in. They put a gun in your head and said, "Give me your money."
Please.
So I looked at it, I read it, and I was like, "Oh, I'll give you a couple of bucks." You know.
Aw, that's awesome.
He didn't even do he did like the custom. He's like, "I'm not giving him 10. I'll give him 750 because I got to give him a tip." Tightwad motherfucker.
I did not.
It's still something. It's still something.
Contribution is a contribution.
Yes, 1000%. Yes, it's the thought that counts.
Exactly. So what's funny is and I guess I don't know if I can ask you or not. Like you said, I guess there's no question off the radar. You have a nickname.
Oh.
Your nickname is Freckles.
Yeah.
Want to go into that?
I have them all over my face. Can you see them?
No, you're beautiful either way.
You must stay out of the sun.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's like, I'm like, where the fuck's Freckles at?
I have a lot of makeup on.
Came right up to the camera. I'm like, where?
Yeah, no, growing up, I hated them too. Hated them. If anybody out there had freckles and they read the book Freckle Juice, I'm with y'all, because
man,
I hated them. They made me look different than everybody, you know? And I had them like all over my face, and they're all over my chest and all over my arms and everything. And I was different, and I hated them. But yeah, I have them all over.
Fuck, I thought there was going to be a great story that's like, I have freckles. I'm like, oh shit. Yeah, right.
Sorry, we foiled that one down.
Hit a whammy. Jeez.
Not as exciting. I know. I just have them.
That's all right. Well, be proud of them, because
absolutely,
we are who we are.
Exactly.
That is true. Very true. Yeah. But yeah, growing up, that was hard. I got teased for them all the time.
That's crazy.
That's a shame. Kids are so mean.
Yeah, and I love it now. So you can just be like, you know what? Fuck you guys. Look where I'm at.
Yeah, look what I'm doing. What are you doing with your life?
I mean, everybody does their thing, but damn it, you make fun of me. And now look, I'm an actress, and I'm a star. So,
and I'll be like, who are you again?
Right?
I've never heard of you.
Yeah, don't know you.
Who ye be? Who ye be? No, that's great though. I'm glad you are where you are. You deserve it.
Thank you.
You definitely have done what you need to do to be where you are, and that's amazing.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah. Hard work.
Hard work pays off. So
let's hope so, because I'm ready. Let's work it.
Well,
Well, we don't want to take any more of
Yeah,
your
I
time
think we've
unless
taken enough of your
yeah.
time. What we generally like to do when we come to a close of an interview is to give you a minute or two to basically talk about projects that you've got coming up, things that you're passionate about, where people can find you on social media or elsewhere, who may want to follow you and keep track of what you got going on. So, I mean, what have you got planned, and where can people find you?
Ooh, such a big open question. So you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Did I miss one? Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Oh, if you're a part of Slasher, the app Slasher, I'm on Slasher too.
I've heard of it.
As yeah, it's like a free for all for horror people. Like there's no rules. You can yeah, you can do what you need to do in the horror community. And I'm at Queen Malvolia on all of that. Or you can follow me personally. I'm at Jennifer_Nangle on Instagram and Twitter, or on Facebook. I'm just Jennifer Nangle. And the only thing that I'm currently working on right now is body count, just really trying to massage all the content, because I had 4 writers and myself write segments for it. And the request was to just have like a female villain that wins in the end. The female villain wins. Right. And I'm going to be writing the wraparound story around it, and I'll be playing all the villains in it. And yeah, it's going to be a wild ride, and I am very anxious and cautiously optimistic about doing this project. A lot of times when I'm brought on to do horror anthologies, I usually just host, and I'm there for like 2 seconds and then that's it. So here I'll be carrying the film along with doing like all this, like carrying the segments around too. So excited and nervous, but I feel like it's time to show Malvolia in a different light. Speaking of that, you can watch Malvolia, the Queen of Screams, on YouTube, youtube.com/C/Malvolia, the Queen of Screams. I reached 1,000 subscribers, y'all. That was big.
That's awesome.
Wow.
That took some time.
That is big.
That's awesome.
But I reached that a couple of weeks ago, which was really nice.
Congratulations.
And thank you. And yeah, so I'll just be working on the anthology, and I'm still up in the air if I'm going to do a season 6 on YouTube, but I probably am. I'm probably just gonna reduce it to like just Halloween and a couple of shorts hosting.
It's a lot. I'm sure it's a lot for you.
Like the first season, we did 12 Dark Days of Christmas, along with a Thanksgiving and Halloween special and all the other stuff. And it was too much. And then I try to keep up with the holiday specials, but it's just a lot. It's just a lot. And it's turning out to be like a lot more money, because we got to keep doing it bigger and better, you know? Yep. And I want more people, and I want to showcase more talent and stuff like that. So, yeah, so I think this year we're just going to limit it to Halloween, because it's always the most popular and the most fun.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't really have any other projects I'm working on. So if you're casting, you need a horror host.
Holy shit. Best one right here.
Award-winning. Oh.
Absolutely.
Flaunt it. Award-winning.
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 So, yeah.
Wow. Well,
yep, that is absolutely wonderful.
I'm kind of blown away. This has been amazing.
We'll put this podcast out in a couple of weeks, and we'll share it with you. And when you open your campaign back up, share it with us. And
1,000%. Yes.
We will be sure to get you as much help as we possibly can, because we want to see this content keep rolling in.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Yeah, the goal is to shoot one of the segments and use that for the next campaign. So there's going to be a lot of blood, gore, murder, evilness. So yeah, get ready for a wild ride.
Sounds like our gig.
Sounds like that's a lot of people's alley. Yeah.
I think so.
I would say so.
Yeah. So.
Well, thank you again for joining us today. We had a wonderful time. It was great talking to you.
Yes,
thank
definitely.
you.
You're a lovely person. You're very talented, and we wish you the very best.
Thank you. Thank you. Gosh, I keep
problem.
getting this treatment. I'll be back next week. We'll talk more.
Yes.
That's exactly why we do it.
That's what we have. It's
Ooh.
ulterior motives. No, but it's been great talking to you on Facebook. We've had good conversations and everything. So it's I thank you for, allowing me to message you and talk to you, because
Oh,
some people just are assholes about it. And I'm like,
I
okay.
know. But my whole thing is like, if I scratch your back, you're going to scratch mine, and we're going to help each other out. Like,
Absolutely.
what your people are going to see, then my people are going to see, then we're all going to see it together, So like, I don't know. I don't ever get that. I don't understand it.
Yep. That's
It's
the
their
community
loss.
experience we talk about.
It's their loss.
Yeah, totally their loss for sure.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But we don't want to keep you on anymore. Again, we thank you so very much for being with us. We can't thank you
Yeah.
enough.
Thank you. Thank you again for having me.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Have a
ma'am.
good one. Take care.
Yep.
Thanks, you too.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye now.